Welcome back to another episode of Facing Fear. We are back here again at the Whistler Airbag. Big thanks to Lisa for allowing us to use this space. It's been super cool so far. In my progression, Mike and I were kind of chatting off the film. Mike's been obviously coaching me in taking the backflip to the bike, but none of these sessions have felt scary so far. I've been excited for every one of them, and kind of there's been a little bit of nerves and kind of, you know, some things we've had to work through coming up, but none of them have been scary because of this amazing facility and this amazing Norco rampage I'm riding. So yeah, really excited to be back here today. Today feels like another one of those milestones. We're at a point where we're kind of, where I'm landing backflips consistently into the lander bag, and we're starting to, play around with some of the nuances, with a goal today in this video of then heading to the Nesters trick jump and taking this to a proper dirt jump. So that one is bringing up a little bit of nerves. Saying I was kind of struggling to sleep a little bit last night, unsure if it's nervousness or excitement, a little bit of fear, some thoughts of like coming up, what if I get hurt for the first time? But I think overall I'm excited.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Where
I think, like what we were talking about before, a little bit off camera, that those feelings of like nerves, excited, can't like losing sleep, I think those are all good things. Like any kind of new milestone, it's your body just letting you know, like, hey, it's important that we think about this. Like, I'm sure you visualized it a bunch of times, so that's kind of keeping you up at night.
Yeah.
Those are all things that are going to help you today to get your mind's kind of putting in the work, the preparation work. Sometimes we get the wrong idea of like it's nerves or like I'm not ready, but nerves are healthy. It's a positive thing as long as we know how to grasp them, and you're awesome at that. And like I said, we put in the work. I think it is exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been really cool just, picking your brains, kind of gathering some of that wisdom, and also watching you do this.
Yeah.
Kind of seeing how laid out your flips are, how relaxed you are when you're doing them. And yeah, I think ultimately visualizing that and keeping myself up last night was probably helpful. So yeah, let's see how it goes. We'll get into some flips here and then hopefully head to the airbag.
Cool.
Head to the Mulch jump.
Right, yeah. So I think a good plan for today, Jake, would be if we just kind of look at your flips to where we already have pretty good consistency. Like once you get to warm up zone, you seem to be landing like all the time on the wheels, super comfy, relaxed. So I think in preparation for the mulch, what we should do now is just sort of watch a few of them go down and see if we find anything that we can polish up to make them as close to perfect as possible. We may not get absolutely perfect flips, but if we just get as close to that as possible, then we know once we remove the softness of the bag and replace it with mulch that's a little firmer, we're just less likely to have little slide outs and stuff. So I'll be watching from the side, and then I can let you know a little bit about what's going on. You can tell me how it feels, and then maybe we can get a handful of consistent, like really super dialed ones, and we'll try to leave here on that kind of zone and make our way to the mulch pretty promptly like after that. How's that sound?
Yeah, man, that sounds like a really good process to go through. That makes me feel better about it. Yeah.
Sweet.
Drop in. Oh no.
Everything and all that kind of stuff. For right now, it's like almost at a point where we want to get things right before the mulch, just kind of feeling as much relaxed as possible. So we'll go into like less is more.
Yeah.
And just gonna let you session it a little bit. We don't have to dissect each one. There was a couple of nice ones looking good. And then both of us will kind of know, like you'll know it by feel, and obviously I can see it from the side when it feels right. You know what I mean? So maybe after like 4 or 5 to where it's like dialed, maybe 10. And we're not really chatting too much at the top to some of the other people around, or like things that might lose focus. Just kind of like get in zone, super chill, relaxed vibes.
Yeah.
And get to where you're feeling consistent. And then whenever you feel like, all right, man, like, what do you think? Let's go to Nesters, like just share that, and then we'll make our way over there.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
it's so interesting, isn't it? Like just having people around. Like this morning when there was no one here, I was warming up. I felt like they were way more consistent than right now.
For sure.
And none of these people are really even saying anything to me. I'm just letting that distract me. So yeah, a good reminder to tune back in to what I'm doing, stay present.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, especially if we do start chatting to the point where we're sharing like what today's about, people can introduce their own emotions about what you're doing, and then you may have already had a grasp and felt really confident about it, but then someone may unintentionally deliver a little bit of like, oh, like scary, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kind of chips away at some of the work we're doing. So
Yeah.
I think with respect to everybody around, we'll still try to like kind of keep our own little zone going, almost as though we still have our private session happening, and then
amazing.
a bit sheltered from some of that outside distraction.
Yeah, cool. So get some clean flips, feel good about it.
Yeah.
Head to
Casual.
Nesters. Yeah,
Sweet.
awesome, man.
Nice. Nice, Jake. That was really good.
Man, that felt better.
Yeah, that was perfect. It's kind of exactly what we were looking for.
Do you want me to hold one of these cameras?
Yeah, maybe you can hold that one.
Oh yeah, it felt good too.
Yeah. Like, kind of a little bit more connected to the bike while also staying away, like keeping that head away from the bag a little bit more. Nice.
It's interesting still seeing like where I get close to the black somewhere around here, because I didn't feel that at all in the air.
You can try to like continue to keep like, see how we kind of had a little bit of this earlier in our flip journey, how the saddle gets away from your hips.
Oh yeah.
So you almost like, so while keeping the space with your arms, bring back the bend in the knees so you're closer to the bike all the way through the rotation.
Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. Thanks.
You got it, bud. All right. Nice.
Sweet. So we're at a point there where I did a bunch more flips. You gave me some really good pointers, kind of cleaned some things up. And I think I got to that stage where I was almost focusing too much on kind of like consciously thinking out how to do the flip. I started getting worse for a bit, but then you gave me some really good advice to go back to kind of that intuitive like feeling now that I know how to do a flip. And that really helped. I just got like 4 or 5 really clean ones I was really happy with. I think at this point, if I was to do any more here, I'd probably just start going downhill, getting tired. So I think it's a good decision right now to head over to the Nesters jump, get warmed up there, and then take that next step. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, really, I totally agree with all that you said. Like, kind of had a little bit of moments where we were like thinking too much, maybe with like what's coming next. As soon as we kind of like were able to shake that off a little bit and just talk about it as though like, hey, we're gonna turn off the camera for a little bit and just ride it as though it's a normal session like you've been practicing, and then we'll get in that more feel vibe. You started to perform like consistent, perfect landings over and over again. It looked really great, and then it was just a matter of like, you make the call when we switch venue, and it sounds like the time is now.
The time is now. Yeah, amazing, mate. Thank you for all that wisdom, and it's maybe a good little bit of food for thought for all the other overthinkers out there that are watching this. Sometimes, yeah, you've just got to tap into the feel when you get to that stage of overthinking.
Yeah, especially with this trick in particular, it's once we know the technicalities of it and you put a bunch of them down and you're thinking about doing it to dirt, the best thing you can do is like try to relax. Less is more. Simple.
Yeah.
And then go for it.
Yeah, awesome. I feel like I've developed a kind of solid grounding process here too, which you've probably seen me doing on the cam. So, you know, take that same process and yeah, take it to the new jump.
Woo, exciting.
Awesome, let's do it. So we're here at the Nesters trick jump or the Nesters mulch jump. Quick change of locations. We've raked the mulch, watered the lip, done a couple of practice run-ins. I was firing off some questions to you already, Mike, kind of just thinking about transitioning from that straight air here to the flip. We thought we should capture this on camera because it might be helpful for other people as well. So yeah, like what's your plan as the coach for me here, getting from like doing the straight airs here, now that we've done our warm-up session at the Airbag, what's the plan for the second half of this session?
So it's kind of some similarities to that first time we were at the bag after we had done the straight airs and it was time to like flip. There's that little bit of like, okay, there's no more like kind of half doing it, like we're really gonna go for it. That's kind of the only way we're gonna rotate. We're not gonna kind of get our feet wet. The good news is like, or like rather just like wet your feet kind of thing, we're gonna go all in. The good news is that the prep is there, so it's not gonna feel like quite the hurdle anymore. But what we do want to do is like, the tricky part now is you want to kind of come in with enough speed and trajectory that's going to be similar to the flip, but without actually rotating the flip, that can get a little dangerous.
Right.
So what we're going to do is just look for straight airs where you can go high up. You might feel like you're kind of going deep on the landing, maybe landing a bit flat. Yeah. But that's going to be consistent with the speed and how you press through the ramp when you go to flip.
Okay, great.
If we continue to straight air like safely and kind of more keep that arc going, while it is the right technique for straight airs, it's a little bit too separated from what it's going to feel like when we flip. And we want to kind of get close to that without getting into a sketchy straight air. And when we get a couple of those, then it kind of makes you feel like, okay, ready. And when you're ready, you can start flipping.
Okay, fantastic. So add some amplitude to the straight airs first.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll try to like think about getting air, try to get high off the ground and still land smooth two-wheel landing. Once we get a couple of those, you might find that you're coming down with quite a bit of impact because you're coming from higher up. But we won't spend too many of those because it'll start to break down your, or like work on some fatigue, or it'll break down your endurance, or it'll start to introduce some fatigue. So we'll just get a few of those and then check in, and that's all we really need. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Let's do it.
Nice, Jake.
Thanks, Matt.
That's kind of precisely what we're hoping for. I really like what I'm seeing. So you kind of feel how that kind of plays into your entry speed for the flip?
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to translate it to the work we did at the bag. Got my drop point, that's consistent.
Nice.
I'm pedaling in like 2 pedal strokes.
Okay.
Doing it this for a straight air, it's the very light pedal strokes. That was the same at the bag. So I can imagine for the flip, maybe I'm just going to add a little bit more to them. You correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, really focusing on like keeping that length to get the good arc.
Totally, yeah. Like what we're doing by landing like where you are, like it can feel a smidge deep and almost kind of flat, right? Like where you're at. We can expect that will likely happen even with a nice clean rotation for the shape of this jump. It's kind of step up, it's a little bit of flatter landing. So if you can kind of like set yourself up for that, it looks like you had like very smooth landings, even though they're a little bit more impact heavy than they are on the bag setup.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so far so good.
Looking pretty good. Cool. Let's keep her going.
Awesome. I feel like I'm at another one of those turning points where it's like, right, all the boxes are checked. There's still a little bit of nerves there. Normal, trying something new, but I feel like now's a pretty good time.
Great. I mean, like, yeah, like I was saying just before you came over on that last try, that we're at a point where you're going to make the call now, and it's like step into that call. We don't linger too much when you go up there for that first attempt. Don't overthink it. Do your ritual as you normally do at your airbag.
Yeah.
Do the best thing you can to like replicate all of those same factors. So when you're up there, everything that you do beforehand, you can do the same thing, and then visualize, you imagine that that's your airbag, that's your same jump you always do. And then you go for that same thing you always do. Like we're really good at it. Like, yeah, remind yourself of that right before you go. You're like, I do this well, like, because you have. You're not lying to yourself.
That's a good flip.
That. Yeah. And we've hit all the marks. So we're ready. Yeah. So big smiles, feeling good, and you know when to do it.
Doing one more straight air. I'm going straight back up.
I love that.
Flip.
All right, dude.
Let's do it.
Let's
Thanks,
do it.
Dad.
All right, Jake, you got this. First attempt. Here we go.
Drop in. Nice to have you guys.
That was a really solid first step.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
your set was really good.
Yeah.